I'm Valentina. I'm 14 years old and I'm from Barcelona.
Cool. Okay, so how was your experience with COVID-19?
Okay, so here in Spain, quarantine was when it was like a completely lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
So we couldn't go out to do any kind of sport, and like people under 14, we couldn't go out. It was only adults, and for like to go to the supermarket or to the pharmacy. And now it's getting better because we are doing it like in 4 steps. Now we are in step 3, and in every step they let you do more things. For example, in step 1 we could hang out 10 people together. In step 2, 15. Now 20, and this kind of things.
How long have you been in quarantine in Spain?
It's been almost 3 months.
Mm-hmm. So right now, are the teens allowed to go outside?
Yes, we can go outside, and we can be, I think that the maximum is 15 people together. Well, 15 teens and adults.
So have you had a greatest struggle in quarantine? Like something that you've been struggling with?
Mm, Actually, no. Like I had fun during quarantine because normally I do school from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. So it's the whole day.
Has your school been doing online schooling?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And now we do online classes, but only from 9 to 1. So I have all the evening, and I can watch a lot more series. I can play the guitar, I can sing. This part has been fun, actually. Well, the schedule was that for every subject we had 2 hours. One, it was like theory,
Mm-hmm.
and the other one was optional and was for people who had doubts. The other days, they posted different tasks in Google Classroom.
Are you still in school, or has school ended for you?
No, school ends the next week.
Mm.
In fact, Friday, I'm going to school.
Really? You're going back to school?
Yes. Well, we're not going back to school. It's actually like a meeting of only 15 people, because in my class we're 32. So only half of the class is meeting, and later another day the other half of the class is meeting. But we have to go to school, and it's like 1 hour, a 1 hour meeting with the teacher. It's like to say goodbye and to talk about quarantine and what we did during quarantine and these things.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. What would you have changed about online schooling?
Like, we did it always with Google Meet.
Mm-hmm.
But for example, the first weeks, we only had tasks in Google Classroom. We didn't have meets.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was better.
Has your perspective on the world changed? Like, do you think of the world the same now, or do you think of it differently?
I think of the world the same way. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you believe that the adults in Spain have handled coronavirus well, or would you have done something differently?
Like, it's not the fault of the adults, but the president. I think that they should have put us in lockdown a lot before than they did.
Mm-hmm.
For example, like in Portugal, they are doing really well with the coronavirus. Portugal is near Spain, and they are doing really well. Like, they have, I don't know, like minimum people with coronavirus, and here it's like they handle it very bad.
Has your relationships with any of your friends or your parents changed, or is it the same as before?
With my parents, it's the same. With my family, it's also the same. But like, during the first 2 months of lockdown, we couldn't see our family.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I live here with my mother and my father, but my grandfather and my grandmother, we live in a house like 2 hours away from Barcelona, and I couldn't go there, and they couldn't came here. No, actually, I'm really connected. I was more the first weeks, but like now I hang out with my friends, but like with the most important friends. Maybe I had some fake relationships with friends, and like now I don't talk to that people.
Do you think that the future is gonna look the same as before coronavirus, or do you think that the world is never gonna go back to like normal?
I think that it's never going back normal. First, they have to like resolve or like find a solution for the coronavirus, and maybe in 5 years things are like completely normal, but we will never forget about coronavirus.
Do you think that after quarantine you're gonna be the same person as before, or do you think that you've changed during quarantine?
No, I'm not. I think I'm not going to be the same person. Like during quarantine, I had more time for me, so like I found out the things that I really like and the person I really want to be with.
Have you been productive during quarantine or not really?
The first weeks I was really productive, but now I'm not that much.
I think that's the same for a lot of people. A lot of people have been saying
Yes.
that the first like week they did a lot of stuff, and now that's just kind of not really.
Yes.
Mhm. What have you been feeling lately?
Um, no, actually, like coronavirus, well, during quarantine, like I'm overthinking a lot.
Do you have any plans for the summer?
Actually, yes. I was going to go to Budapest to do an exchange, but I'm not doing it. But I'm going 4 weeks, like on a campus,
Mhm.
like bueno, like friends, like in France. But this is in Andorra. I don't know if you know what it is. It's a
Yeah.
country next to Spain that is very little. Well, I'm going there. But I think it's gonna be very different. Campus are going to be very different.
Are you gonna have to wear masks?
I don't know. What I know is that, for example, I will have to eat with the with the security distance that I don't know if you have it in the United States, but here it's 2 meters.
Mhm.
So I will have to eat like really, really far away from the people.
Do you have any favorite quarantine snacks that you like to eat?
Nutella, it's always Nutella.
If you could, what piece of advice would you give yourself when you were just starting off quarantine?
That maybe like to relax because this is gonna be very long. So take things easy and have fun.
And then, what do you want to tell like future generations or yourself after quarantine who either didn't live through coronavirus, or like what would you want to tell them about your experiences?
That in fact that for me, for example, I know that a lot of people have gone through a really rough time, but for me it was very good for me because I learned like more things of myself to find more about you and how to be happy and all of that. It's really good.
Mm-hmm. That's all the questions I have. Do you have anything else that you want to say?
No.
Thank
Okay,
you.
you're
Bye.
welcome, bye.